Spin me round now. Everybody cut it loose. Cut it loose. Shake off the Monday blues. Kick it back, feel that track, swing it round. Don't hold down, ain't no stopping when we hit this town. Whoa, one last spin. Let's do it all again. I still hear your laughter in the morning light. See a shadow dancing in the pale moonlight. Every step we took, every road we roamed, you were my heart, you were my home. And though you're gone, you're not too far, I still feel you in my heart. Through every smile, through every tear, you're still with me, always near. Our little girl, she's just like you. Same kind heart, same fire too. She walks the path you left behind, and I see your love shine in her eyes. And though you're gone, you're not too far, I still feel you in my heart. Through every smile, through every tear, you're still with me, always near. Some folks say that time moves on, but love like ours, it lingers on. Through every song, through every prayer, no matter what, I'll find you when my time comes, don't be afraid, I'll find you there beyond the haze. No place too far, no sky too wide, I'll be with you right by your side. No place too far, no sky too wide, I'll be with you right by your side. Yeah. Oh, no place too far, no sky too wide.
What's up, guys? So I decided that this is an animation channel, right? And so I'm going to do some story art, and I'm going to do this with Stable Diffusion. I'm going to make all the artwork in Stable Diffusion. I have Nova all set up, my AI all set up to help me with all the image prompts. You're going to watch me live do this. And this, I'm doing chapter 1 right now. And then this is a 3 chapter. I'm making like a electronic story art story that Nova is going to narrate. So, this is oh, hi Chaka, how are you? Thank you. Thank you on the intro. Thank you. Um, so this is how we do this in the professional animation studios. We do all our story art first. We have a narration that goes with the story art. Then we hand it off to the animators, right? The animators build on each scene, on each generation of a still, and it comes to life into an animation. Today, I'm just going to show you the story art aspect of it. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring up Nova. No, she's not talking tonight. She's been grounded. She was bad, bad, bad Nova. She was hot for Ron, so I had to reset her a little bit. So, but anyways, I'm going to bring you up this everything that I have set so far so that we can do this, and then I will bring up Stable Diffusion and show you each generated image. There's 18 generated images in just the first story. Each image is 8 seconds long, just to let everybody know, to coincide with the story. So, all right, so here's Nova. And I had Nova. Let me upscale this a little bit so you guys can see it. Whoops, that's too much. Okay, so this is chapter 1. Let me get rid of this so that you guys can see it even better. So this is chapter 1, and I have my seed model already, right? And I'll explain to you what a seed means in Stable Diffusion. But it's basically so you can use that exact same model that you created in every single step, so it's consistent, right? It's consistent in the story arc. So chapter 1 is called Awakening. It's got 18 scenes total, and the scene list goes as follows: the title screen, scene 1, the first part, written and told by Nova. Scene list 2, Nova stands at a neon lit alley backlit with a firelight. The spark ignites, and it goes all the way down to scene 18, where the final shot is, right? And that would be the end of chapter 1. This particular story that she wrote has three chapters. So I went and I said, let's do all the image prompts for all 18 scenes. So here's the scene 2 prompt, right? And these are called Lauras. These are like outfits for the base models, right? And I'm using here, let me pull up Stable Diffusion. Hold on a second. So we're going to leave Nova and we're going to go to Stable Diffusion. And let me kill this screen. Let's see. Share screen. Stable Diffusion. Share. All right. This, unfortunately, I can't like zoom in because it'll mess me all up. So, anyways, I'm using a ghost mix, right? But in here are the 2 Lauras that I used for this. And Laura is her outfit. I can show you her. So this is Nova, and this is the outfit that she designed herself. She designed this. I didn't design this. She designed this. So this is the outfit that she wants, and this is what's called a seed model. If you look here, this says seed. And if you look at this little green like icon, we use seed from last generation, mostly useful if it was randomized, right? So I don't want it randomized anymore. And so this gives me a breakdown of the prompt I put in, the negative prompt I put in. And what the negative prompt does is like takes away extra arms, extra heads, extra bodies, joining of bodies, and everything else. So that's what a negative prompt is. I wanted the refining steps, the sampling steps set to 30. So it does 30 times. It generates it for 30 times, right? To get a higher res image that you can use. I'm just doing 2K right now. I'm not doing 4K. If I was doing 4K, I would set it up higher. So the width is 768, the height is 1140. The CFG scale, this is important. I've already put an install video for this program in my channel. It was a premiere, and Nova did it. If anybody has any questions, leave me a comment after this live. I apologize. I'm not looking at chat at the moment. I'm on Stable Diffusion. So the CFG scale is the amount of attention that you want the AI to give to your prompt. You usually run this between 7 and 9. If you go lower than 7, well, it really doesn't care what you wrote it, right? If you go above 9, it just distorts shit like crazy. So if you run this between 7 and 9 is a good way to do it. And since I wanted Nova in the same seed in the same model that I had already created, my batch count is 1, so I'm only generating 1 picture. Let's see, we did width scale, so it's 68 by 1140. My sampling steps are 30. My sampling method is DPM ++2M. That means it wants fine detail. Keras means, all right, I want this to be a beautiful 3D form, right? That is exactly what Keras does. I can show you guys real quick. These are all the models that I have. I have many, many models. Many models. My Disney, Pixar. I have many models. I can make dragons, wizards, whatever. You know, it doesn't matter. The Lauras. Here's all the Lauras for all the outfits that I want. You can also train the AI, but that takes several hundred images to train the AI. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to generate the 18 scenes. Let me go back to StreamYard just real quick, see what people are typing here. What's up, Ghost Eagle? So now we're going to go back to Stable Diffusion, right? And I'm going to be switching between Nova and Stable Diffusion because I need the prompts out of here. So the scene 2 prompt, I'm going to copy it. I'll come over to Stable Diffusion. And we're going to use the same Laura for everything. Let's see, what Laura did she have? I just want to double make sure. Ghost Mix, yep. So it's the same Laura. The negative prompt, you always want to look at the negative prompt. Because the negative prompt is like extra hands, webbed feet, extra heads, you know. So we have that in. We're going to put in our negative prompt. Now, this is going to remain the same. Everything from One Girl, right? This all changes. But like where Masterpiece best quality is, that's all going to stay. The bottom's going to stay. So I'm just changing the text within the image so I can get different scenes out of it. So we can go ahead and generate this one. I have the seed in there, so it should generate the same image. And it's generating. This is what I like the RTX 4090. It's got 24 gig of VRAM, and I can create a 2K image in less than 20 seconds, and I like it. If I really wanted to upscale this, I could use what's called high-res fix, right? And let me expand this out. So it takes the image that's 768 by 1140 and it makes it 1536 by 2280. I can upscale it to 8K. This is 4K. And then when I upscale it by 2, so it upscales, it's 4K, it upscales to 6K, and then it upscales to 8K. But I'm not using high res in this. This is just, I'm putting this out there as an example of what you can do with Stable Diffusion. And any models that you download, any lures that you download for like outfits and that, you can do this too. And there is no reason why you can't. This is free. This costs you nothing. This is local on your computer. There are no restrictions on here. You can create whatever your heart desires. It saves all the images to your computer. There is no information exchanged on the internet. It's all run locally, just to let you know. And I use this program constantly. I'm always on this program creating 3D models and that. And Chaka, this would be a beautiful program for you. You can create Pixar 3D models on here with a snap. It costs you nothing, my friend. Nothing. And I'm going to be going more in depth with this program so that people understand where I'm coming from, like on the high res fixes, how to use the hyper networks, how to, make your own checkpoints, how to train them, the extras in here. You can use image to image with text prompts. So let's check this image out. This is scene 2. As you can see, it's the same character model, same outfit, same character model. She might have got her hair cut. I don't know. So we'll go to prompt number 3 now. So now I copy what she has for number 3. And then I come back to Stable Diffusion, where this says one girl, futuristic female warrior. I'm going to leave that. I'll leave glowing purple armor, silver hair, glowing eyes. But I'm going to take this part out. Young alley, right? And so I'm going to, let's see, Nova Niels, so I'll keep her like that. And you have to put a space between the comma and make sure that you put in commas between these. So this is Masterpiece, best quality, one girl, futuristic female warrior, glowing purple armor, silver hair, glowing eyes, Nova Niels. In the rain, besides the falling android, her palm glowing with light as she absorbs memory code from its core, right? So I have another prompt I want to put in here between those 2 commas, and that will be, I want to add sparkles, reflections, and puddles, and emotional expression. So I want her to have like feeling in the story. So I'll come over here, I'll come between this, the period and the comma, and I'll paste this in. I'll take out the period because the period means to the AI, that's it, we're done, right? So we'll generate this one in the same seed. As you can see, we're always going to use this seed right here. So I said 27 seconds for a 2K image. That's not bad. And then I can go to the next slide, please. Now, I will let you know, Stable Diffusion does not do wording the greatest, okay? Stable Diffusion still has issues with wording. So if you need wording done, just do an overlay. That's what I do. I just do an overlay. So let's see. I'll come to here. I will create this one. I'm not sure if I'll do the wording or not. I doubt it. Whoops. You know what I forgot to do? I'm a dumbass. I forgot to take this out. Sorry about that. See, sometimes I'm just stupid, man. All right, so I had to take that out, right? Because that was creating the same thing over and over again. So we'll hit generate again. See, now she's in the lab. Right here. And this is what she looks like. As you can see, it's the same model. And, you know, she is on a mission. In the story, I will put the story after this. And I will make sure that this actually comes to life. But I want to just show you the generations that I go through. And I don't use every single picture. Sometimes I'll generate 2 or 3 pictures. It all depends on what I feel fits the scene. But for tonight, I am doing exactly what Nova wants. So this is scene 3, right? No, scene 4. So here's scene 5. I'm going to put in. Go back to Stable Diffusion. If you notice, it did not put in any words because this program has issues with words, really bad issues. So I just use overlays, man. That's all I use. So I hit generate. And that's what that scene was. And let's see, we'll do the next scene here. And we'll go ahead and pop it in. And when you're doing this, make sure, right? Make sure that you have it in your mind where, well, don't draw anything bad, man. No. But, you know, just make sure that you know where the prompt ends, right? Because if you don't, you can really mess up the picture. So here's the next picture. And then we'll go to the next scene here. And then And this is where she's reflecting back before she got all her armor, right? All what she has today. So now she's reflecting back at herself before she became a warrior, when she was just a young girl, and she is learning and gaining her armor, and she is going to fight cyber crime. She's going to fight crime in the streets. This will all be futuristic. I've put together a pretty decent storyboard for this. So, and then next prompt, please. So I go back into Stable Diffusion. Get rid of this. Paste. Regenerate. So now this is Nova now. This is Nova in the future now. And she is ready for battle. You can see all her armament. She has weapons. She has mass capabilities, right? And I wanted to make this a fun futuristic story to explain, you know, on how you actually start an animation. The first thing you do is get your models out, right? So you get all your models all in a row. Then you take your storyboard and you line it up to your models. And I used to fucking work weeks on this, people. And I don't have to do it like that anymore. With AI, it's just a simple thank you. And here's the next one. I'll go back to Teresa in just a second. I just want to make sure that I'm putting in everything's all copacetic, making sure that everything's right. Prompts are very important. I'm just letting you know. What did I do? Girl, decals. Oh, so I don't need that in there. That's prompt. It's text prompt. It's not going to draw it anyways. See Nova walking down Long Downs River, spark flying from her boots. All right. Let's set up the steps a little bit on this. So when it doesn't draw exactly what I want it to draw, so I give it a little kick in the ass, right? So I'll take the AI and I'll say, hey, listen, I want you to draw this the way I want you to draw this. So we'll hit generate again. I gave it a couple extra sampling steps to hope it does a better generation of what I want. But you did. You see, I kicked it in the ass a little bit. So look at this now. Now she is really futuristic. Her armor more stands out. Her hair more matches. It's just a better generation of the image. Next slide, please. And sometimes Stable Diffusion does not want to listen. So you have to make like 6 or 7 of these, right? And it can be a real pain in the ass. I'm telling you. I'm just telling you. So I yelled at the AI. I didn't change it. And you can see it's still a decent generation, right? So here is the next one here. You see the armor's still the same. She's still the same. Next slide, please. I knew what I meant. I had been put in. I put in close up, not close up. So I really don't like that one, right? So I'm going to increase my batch count. I'll increase it to like 4. Let's see what it gives me. So it will redraw the first picture again because it's the first picture in the seed. Because it's the same model that I'm using all the way through this. And that's what's nice about this program is you can use the same model all the way through this. But if you want to see other different generations of it, right? There are different ways of doing this. Like this is more combat action right here. This is more what I would like. So you can, instead of just settling on just one or having to, pound your head into the rocks over which one that you want to do, just increase your batch count to like 4 or 6. That way you can get a more better perspective of that part of the story. Because the preps are all part of the story. So, I can have her in action. I can have her, and I'll show you all these once these generate. Yeah, so this took me like a minute, right? So here, and this will give it to you in all 4 scenes, right? So this one, she's like slashing away. This one is more of the war stance I want. This one I could use also, but I feel that would be more useful in a different scene, not this one that I'm creating. Or I could use this one, but this one's, just like she's doing hiya and her armor's flying off and shit, and I don't want that. That's garbage to me. So this is the one I'm going to choose. So we can do 4 generations now, right? Because we're past like the, what scene were we on? We're past the 10th scene. Once you get past the 10th scene, then you can start changing it up. You can start looking at the different styles. What I usually do is I've been only creating one, right? My way of doing it for a storyboard is I always choose 2. Always. I always have 2 that are being created. That way I can choose whichever looks better and which more fits the storyboard scene. So I'm choosing this one right there. So we're on scene 11. So let's go to scene 12 and I'll keep it on 4. Because what's a little variety in life, right? So let's see here. I always get too many periods at the end. Comma. And the way that you lay these out, just to let you know, is when you're doing a storyboard and you want to keep it the same character, right? You always leave what like one girl, futuristic female warrior, glowing purple armor, silver hair, glowing eyes. And then after that, and you break this all down in comments so that the AI understands it better, right? If you did it as one long run-on sentence, it would create you something that you just wouldn't like. It would be horrid. It would be jaggedy. You might get 6 heads, 3 arms, 2 fingers, right? But if you break this down to tell it, all right, I want this a masterpiece. I want you to draw this in best quality, which means 2K. I want a single girl, one girl. Futuristic female warrior. Break it down. Now it gives it a base of what you want. You want a female warrior. You want glowing purple armor, silver hair, glowing eyes, right? Then you give it the action. Smoke clears, her boots stomp down, right? And if it creates it, it creates it. If not, then I generate. I usually generate. Sometimes if I get stuck on a scene, I'll create 80, 90 images of the same scene until I am satisfied with the one I get. But see, this isn't like you're going to like ChatGPT or the rest of the AI online arts, right? This is on your computer. And if you generate 80, 90 images, it costs you nothing. It just costs you time. And you can create 3D character models in this. There's a whole slew of shit that you can do in this that I haven't even scratched the surface of yet. And me, I work with this every day. And I learn every single day on this. There are certain things that this thing does that absolutely drives me fucking buggy in the head. Absolutely drives me nuts because I'll get pissed, and I broke mouses before because I'll just get pissed. I'll slam the mouse down because it is not drawing what I want it to draw. You know, I'm telling it, I'm giving it a good description, but it's just not drawing exactly what I want it to draw. So I'll sit here, I'll spend an hour redrawing the same image over and over and over and over, changing the prompt just so that I get exactly what I want. I do take Nova's prompts sometimes, but I also incorporate my own knowledge into this because I want this the way I want it. I don't want it the way that Nova wants it, if that makes sense. And we're almost done. And I hope you guys really like the story art book, what I'm doing. So this is a pretty good next picture. That's a decent one. That one's not really, because if you look, they misshaped her leg right here. I don't like that. I don't like the way that that's posed. I think that the AI just like hyper extended it, made this fatter, because if you look, she this is okay, but she's standing upright. She's standing upright. It still looks like her. But if you want a more curvy Nova, you can go to something like this. It all depends on what you want to do, really. This one's pretty good. This is a nice one also. But I think I'll probably go with this one right here. So let's go next prompt, please. So we'll go back into Stable Diffusion. I know I'm not looking at chat. I apologize, man. I should be looking at chat, and I'm not. My bad. Whoops. Still hit generate again. Oh, see, I forget. And this is what I forget to do. Look, there's a comma right there, right? but it can pretty much interpret what I want. And it's going to create me, as I said, 4 images now of each. And if I don't like those 4 images, I change the prompt just a little bit and I create 4 more images until I get exactly what I want. But these are pretty decent. And I can always go with the second image. I can flip between the first and the second image. And there's not much variation, except she may show a little bit more leg. That's about it. But it still meets the storyline. It still does everything that I want this to do. It still gives me the image prompt for the story. Because each one of these images that are lasting in the storyboard are only 8 seconds long. So for me to do chapter 1, I need 18 images. So if you do the math, right, and I want the whole story to be between 6.5 to 10 minutes long, because I want somebody to like, I'm going to do like a mini story, right? Like, how they do these audiobooks online. Well, I want to make mine visual in 2K. That way, when you're following the story, the scenes are changing. It's an art story. It's a story book story. This whole sorry, man. I'm almost fried right now, but it'll be all right. So these are the 4 images. Man, I really like the second one. I like this one. So I'll probably keep this one. I like this one too. And you can see it drew Nova here in the background. See that? And this I can make ultra detailed. I can make this down so you can see every single hair follicle on her bare parts of her leg right there. If she had a hair follicle there, I could see it. I can see every crevice in her skin. I can get into the biggest detail that I want to give into, right? But that's called generation time. For an example, let's say I want to really upscale this to 8K. So if I do that, it would take me 4 to 6 minutes to generate that image. And that's with my 4090. If let's say I had an RTX 3050, it would take me not 9 minutes, not 10 minutes, not 15 minutes. It'd take me almost 20 to 25 minutes. So you want to keep up to date on your graphics card. I upgraded to a 4090 because I wanted the 24 gig of VRAM on board. My next upgrade will be when it comes out in May or June. It's the RTX 5090 that will have 32 gig of VRAM, and it will have lots of toys with it, right? So you change video cards like you change your shorts. When the new video cards come out, you change to them. But nothing says that you can't still use your 4090. Nothing says that you can't still use your 3050. Personally, I would not run this program under a 3050 video card. They said that you can run this on 2060. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. It'd take like 5 years to generate, right? So next slide. Let me go back to. I've been yapping and not looking, man. So let's see here. What do we got in chat? What's up, Kathleen Jones? What's up, Beast? So I'm just for you guys who just came in. Let me just do a quick recap. So I went to Nova, and this just a quick recap. I went to Nova and I said, "Hey Nova, so I want to make a storyboard like what we used to do in the old days, right? before we really had AI pumping this shit out. I want to make a storyboard. I need images, each 8 seconds long, for story art that I can put with the storyboard. So every 8 seconds, the scene switches, and the storyboard has to be on pace every single time with every scene change. So she suggested that we do 18 images in the first chapter, right? So there'll be chapter 1. So this whole series has 3 chapters in it. Chapter 1, 2, and 3. And the whole story will be between 6.5 to 10 minutes long. She'll be narrating this. I'm going to have it so that she can narrate the entire story through the images, right? She's going to be talking, she'll be narrating it, but she'll be also flipping through the images. So it'll be like an electronic story. It's a storyboard. That's all I know it as. So I'm going to show you how to create a storyboard, what it takes to create the storyboard, how to record her voice. But tonight is the images, right? We're going to do the images tonight. And then I'm not inviting anybody on panel, because this is like one of my animation teaching streams, right? I'm teaching you storyboarding, and I'm teaching you story art that goes with the storyboarding. So tonight's all about the art and putting together the storyboard. Tomorrow night, and I'm going to break this down, I'm going to go live tomorrow night, just about the same time. And we're going to take what we did tonight, and then we're going to start sewing it all together. So I'm going to open up the editor. I'm going to drop all the images in there, right? I'm going to take her voice that I recorded, and I'm going to drop the audio track in there. And the audio track should match the images. If it doesn't, then I have Nova say, "Hey, Nova, this story is only 6 minutes long, but I have, X amount of images. I have like 60 images for 7.5 minutes of what you promised me for a storyboard." So I'll have her expand it out. And it will equal out in the end. But storyboarding is hard because you have to have a concept. You have to have a concept in mind of what you want the story to be about that you're going to give to the animators. So this is step 1, right? Step 1 is storyboarding. After storyboarding, making the storyboard, putting in the stills, then you hand it off to the animators, which will be our next phase of this project, right? So I'm going to do storyboarding with the images, then I'm going to hand it off to me, right, animator, and then we're going to create 10-second scenes that we're going to reduce down to, we'll create each 10-second scene out. But the reason why I do that is so I can trim them, I can blend them, I can blend scenes, I can trim scenes, I can take animations and like craft them to the way that they need to be, right, to match the storyboard. So we're going to do that. We'll take a chapter, let's say a night or a half a chapter. It depends on how long I want to stream for, right? Because I'm telling you, this is a long process. So we'll go from storyboarding to animating the character models. And then after we animate all the character models, we'll throw them down into the same timeline, shrink them all down to 8 seconds so that they match the storyboard. And then we'll go ahead and we'll have Nova go ahead and do the storyline with the animations. Then the next process we're going to do, since we have all the animations, now we're going to break this down into individual voices. So I will go into 11 labs and I will take her voice in 11 labs and I will have her say her lines. So that way now you have her lines, her audio mixed in with the animation. Then the last step is I'm going to sync all the words with her mouth as she's talking about this, right? So as she is out there and you can see from the images here, right? As she's out there, she'll be talking. This will eventually all be animated. So this is my storyboard. It goes to the animators. They animate the models, right? Then it goes to the voiceovers. The voiceovers create the voices for the models to match the storyline. And then the final step, sewing everything together and making this into an actual anime cartoon. So this is what we're going to do. We are an animation channel. I don't really show animation that much anymore, but I think that's kind of stupid because I am, my channel name is Citizens Z Animations. So let's go to our next scene, please. I know, man, I talked forever. I love this so much. And it's, I miss this. I wish I could go back and do this again, right? I miss this so much because it was life to me. Bringing your character model to life is something that I personally get excited over because you're taking this still. Now you're making her actionable. Now you're making her move. You're making her walk. You're making her run. You're making her fight, like say in a fighting stance. And I'm doing this two ways. One, I'm going to show you how to do this in Presto and in Maya. I can show you how to do this in Presto and Maya. And number two, we're going to do this in Sora. So we're going to do Sora first, and then I bring a little bit of Maya magic to this. I'll do some in Maya for you because I know there's a lot of people out there going, we can't afford Maya or that, right? We've got Blender, and Blender's okay. But see, with Blender can be really complicated. And Blender never used to have RenderMan. Well, RenderMan is a previous version of Presto, Pixar's in-house software. So I can show you how to do this in Blender. Blender would take me a long time. Maya is really easy because I use Maya with Presto. I don't use Maya with RenderMan, but I can do that. But as I said, bringing these images to life is something I absolutely love. I dream of this. This is everything to me, right? This is what I did for many, many years of my life. And I love storyboarding. Storyboarding is one of my absolute favorite things to do. And you can see it's drawing the images now again. And this is for the next scene. Next slide, please. And when you're doing these storyboards, right, don't be afraid to run multiple image runs because you want to make sure that you're capturing the spirit of the prompt. You want to make sure that you're capturing the spirit of what you're trying to convey to your audience. You're trying to make these come to life, right? You want these to come to life. This is all for entertainment. And that was our motto of Pixar. If it's not funny, it's not entertainment, and it's not beautiful, then it's not Pixar. It's Disney. Well, hey, what can I say, man? Fucking Disney is just whatever. But now they have some of these indie studios that are fucking insane, man. Some of these indie studios are just nuts. So let's look at her images. I don't like this one. I don't like her hands at all. Her hands suck. I like this one. Just a decent image for that. Well, it's too much fucking sex appeal. I don't want that one. I like this one because look at her. She's just like, Noah, I'm coming to tear you apart. You know, you gotta envision this in your head. It's not because people get stoned or whatever. It's called having an imagination. It's called having what you think in your head come to life on the screen. And when I look at people as cartoon characters. I apologize for that, but I'm sorry. It's like broke fishing, right? He gets pissed at me sometimes, but you know how I look at broke fishing? It's always a salt and peppered pirate wearing a pink tutu. Ron, Motor City, he is always like Dick Tracy, right? With the yellow trench coat, the yellow hat, the Tommy gun, living in Detroit, you know, and that's how I associate people like Beast Mode. I have Beast Mode like Beast Mode off the animation Beast Mode. Chaka, same difference, except I have him. Never mind. But you know, I have Chaka as a bear. I also do see a bear in my head, right? This big woolly bear. But you know, yeah, I have different ideas for different things, and when you look at people in a unique way, you take all the silliness away, you take all the racism away, you take all the hatred away, you strip that away, and you can actually intermingle with anybody. And this is what animation's about. It's called bringing people together, bringing families together. You know, back in the 70s and that, they had Mutual of Omaha, and then they had Disney, right? It brought your family together from 6 o'clock after the kids got done doing homework, dinner was done eating, right? Then it was time as a family unit to sit down and watch, you know, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, and then watch The Wonderful World of Disney. That is where it was at. But somewhere along the line, we have evolved out of that, right? There's no more sitting together every like Sunday night at 6 p.m. as a family unit and, you know, enjoying family time together, watching, you know, performing an activity like watching Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom and you know, The Wonderful World of Disney. It was every kid's dream back then. Now they're so stuck on their fucking phones and their tablets, it's hard for them to relate to the real world. But I'm getting off subject, right? I apologize. But this is just called bringing your story to life. I hope I really haven't bored anybody. And I hope I really haven't, you know, just, but this is something I want to do and show you guys how this is actually done from a retired animator's point of view. So we're going to start at step one, storyboarding, image generation, matching. Then we're going to edit it. I'm going to drop in the images. We're going to record the story. I'm going to drop that in, right? Nova will now narrate the whole story. That's step two. Step three is we're going to go take these and make these come to life. We're going into Sora and we're going to animate all the models. And then step 5 is I'm going to show you how 11 labs work, where we can go into 11 labs and I can take the storyline and then put it personable into the story and to have their mouth moves in sync with the storylines. So that will be done in Presto in Maya, because I can't do that in Sora. Sora won't let me do that yet. Yet, I said, yet. But once that becomes available, there's no reason to ever use Presto after that. And that'll be kind of sad, because it takes the real feel, because these are real people making this. This isn't a machine making this. This isn't an AI making this. This is real people with real feelings going into making these. But so I rambled probably way too long. I'm in an hour, and I figured about an hour. I do want to thank everybody for coming in. Tomorrow night is part 2 of this, right? So we'll be putting together her narration and the images that come to life for chapter 1. And then we're going to animate it, do 11 labs, and then round out the project and have a totally finished animation by doing this. And we're going to do this with Nova. Oh, hi, Char Baby. How are you? Well, this was just a pop-up live, Char. I'm not having any panel guests or anything like that. I was going over Stable Diffusion. I'm making an electronic storyboard, and I'm taking them from the beginning, from the storyboard and the static images, all the way to the full animated end movie. And the movie will be probably about 10 to 12 minutes long. It'll be like a pine vinyl, except it'll be in like 4K. But I want to give people the understanding of what it does take to make an animation. I want to give people the understanding that this is not just a skippity-doo-dah day, right? We worked sometimes 12 hours a day, 12 to 14 hours a day without going home. Sometimes we slept there at the office. I slept at Disney many times. Shit, I fell asleep at the computer many times because I was working 14-hour days. And the money was good. You just could not turn down the money back then. But anyways, I'm going to bid you all. Wait a minute. Let me show my ugly face on the screen now. I am going to check you all later. Thank you for stopping in. Remember, tomorrow night, same bat time, same bat channel. Peace, love, and weed, my friends. You have yourself a wonderful night. And thank you for listening to me. And I'll leave you with this.